Hey, I'm Alex.
And I'm Mike.
From the Weekly Undertaking, and you're... No, wait. From the Oxymorons, and you're watching
The Weekly Undertaking.
You remember that from Disney Channel?
In every commercial break ever?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we were doing. It took us 7 tries, but we did it.
We wanted to make sure that it was perfect.
It wasn't.
No,
Hooray!
not at all.
But
Yeah.
we're keeping it, because I'm getting tired of that.
Yeah. Anyway, hello everyone. This is episode 35 of The Weekly Undertaking. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
I don't know what you would do without me writing that on the computer every week.
I would have to count, and that would require a lot of effort.
I'm going to mislabel one day.
Just to see if I fuck it up?
Yes.
I guarantee you I will.
Okay, great. And we'll all look forward to that, because that's going to be hilarious.
That's something to look forward to.
So today is an episode for all you Disney lovers out there. But before that, we got to bring back one of my favorite segments that we only did once. Old News.
Old News.
Because, as you know, or don't, I don't know. How many episodes have you listened to? 3? Then you don't. But we record 2 weeks.
You are antagonizing our listeners a little too much today. They could be very loyal listeners. They could have listened to all 35 episodes.
I don't know them.
My dad is listening to every episode, and he knows me very well.
Okay.
Excuse you.
Well, I'm sorry then if you're Mike's dad, but if not, we record in advance as to,
account for life.
Yeah, make sure that we don't miss our update schedules, even though I managed to forget that we do a podcast every Sunday and forget to upload on time. Sorry about that.
What do you mean? Did you upload?
I forgot, and it went up 2 hours late today.
Whatever.
Or last week.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's complicated.
Yeah, I get
Basically, anything that happened this week is going to be very old news by the time you're hearing us talk about it, but we're going to talk about it anyway.
Because the news cycle goes so quickly.
Yes, but to start off, I want to tell you about something funny that happened a few weeks ago, and I forgot to mention it last week.
Oh, so this is old news.
This is double old news.
Okay.
Double old news.
Is that our double old news
Yes.
segment? Okay, cool. Gotcha.
But anyway, so I'm a big Nintendo fan, as you know.
I'm aware.
And a few weeks ago, Reggie Fils-Aimé, who was president of Nintendo of America, announced that he would be retiring soon.
Oh, all right.
So he's a great man. He has made many memes. I have to show you some of them.
You should show me some of them.
He's the guy who did "My Body Is Ready."
What?
You haven't heard that?
I mean, I've heard the slogan. He's the one that...
Well, because he came out on like a Nintendo presentation where they were showing off the Wii balance board, and they're like, "We're gonna have Reggie demonstrate," and he walked out and he's just like, "My body is ready." It was really funny. And how people just mimicked that for 20 years.
Nice. All right.
So anyway,
I am less familiar with Reggie, but I mean, good for him.
I got to show you a compilation because he's incredible.
Okay.
But anyway, why I bring it up is because his replacement, who will be president of Nintendo of America, his real name is Doug Bowser.
Okay, this sounds like a trap.
This
sounds like bullshit.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
His first picture after the announcement was him holding a sign saying, "Looking forward to working with you." And in the background is a Mario and Luigi plushie tied up on a shelf.
Oh, that's good. That's good stuff.
And I'm just like, yay, they're going to lean into this.
I mean, they have to.
Yes.
Their president is named after one of the most iconic villains of any video game.
Yes.
Yeah,
and that's just beautiful.
That's very, very
That's
funny.
completely incredible. So I had to mention that.
Yeah.
But as of more recent news,
yes,
this is a great week for Pokemon fans.
It was.
It was the 23rd year anniversary of the franchise. Congratulations, Pokemon.
I mean, okay, yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, they're the most successful video game franchise in history.
Is it? Well, should I not congratulate them then?
I guess. You know what? You're right.
They're the only reason we're still friends.
They are.
They're the only reason we made it through those awkward middle school years.
By leaning into the awkward.
Yes.
By playing more Pokemon.
And look how well we turned out.
I blame you, Nintendo.
How dare you? Anyway, we got 2 big announcements this week.
Yes,
First
we did.
one was the Detective Pikachu second trailer, which looks phenomenal, even more so.
It does. I'm more and more convinced that Ryan Reynolds signed up for this exclusively so he can make jokes about it in Deadpool 3.
And I'm looking forward to it. I
too.
think it's going to be very fun.
It does. I watched it a couple times, and the trailer just like... It looks like it's just gonna be raw fun outside of the typical Pokemon kid, imagination.
This looks like something for everyone.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
truly something for everyone. And if you've seen this trailer and you're a Pokemon fan, your mind was exploded. And if you saw this trailer and you weren't, you probably said, "Oh, this looks cute."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Because, the little surprise cameo at the end. Not going to say, because if you haven't seen it, you got to see it.
Wait, the surprise cameo?
You know.
I do? Pikachu. Oh, right. I totally forgot about that.
I'm going to bleep out that name later, just to be safe. I don't know if you've seen it. You may live under a rock. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
He's striking back again.
Okay, there's a hint.
There's a hint. Yeah.
Anyway, and then alongside that
came what I personally was more excited about.
Yeah. Sit closer. Talk more into the microphone and shake everything while you move.
Yeah. Well,
thanks.
Can we fix that in post?
I'm gonna try my damn best.
Okay, cool. But yeah, the more important thing is that Pokemon Generation 8
for the Nintendo Switch.
Is that how it's supposed to be pronounced?
No.
Switch.
Switch.
They have to. That's an interesting choice.
Well, that's my choice to say it like that.
Oh, okay. So it's not the official.
My console, my choice, Michael.
That's okay. Fair enough. Call it whatever you like. But
sorry, I made fun of a movement slogan in regards to a video game console.
Why are you apologizing?
I don't know. I might have offended someone.
Okay, cool.
I'm covering all my bases.
All right.
Didn't mean to offend any. I didn't. No, let's go. Anyway, continue.
So now that we've covered that Alex is a total dick.
Yep.
So Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Interesting names.
Yes.
I was hoping for King and Queen because I would have gone with Queen.
Thank you for that little.
Because yes, Queen.
Yes,
Slay.
Queen. That's where that's a meme, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a meme.
That happened to Gaga, I think.
I don't know.
A couple years back.
I don't know.
All right.
Yes, Queen.
Yes, Queen.
Anyway.
Yes to the Queen.
I would have gotten Queen.
You would have gotten Queen?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to get Sword or Shield?
I think I'm going to get Shield. It's the Shield.
Oh, I guess it's
from Avengers.
Referencing the other very, very geeky
Shield,
thing that we're a part of.
Well, we were doing Disney today, so we had to get Pokemon and Marvel in here somehow.
Pokemon's not owned by Disney.
No, I know.
Okay.
But I mean, like, just covering all my nerd bases.
Covering all your nerd bases, yeah, absolutely. So the Galar region, or is it Galar?
Galar.
Okay.
Galar.
Okay, so the Galar region is based off of the UK.
Hooray!
I personally need this Team Rocket equivalent. It needs to be based off of the IRA. I think.
Wow, great joke I'm hearing for the first time.
Good cover. Thank you for that.
He walked in and he's like, Team Rocket needs to be the RRA, Alex.
Absolutely. You have to do it. I mean, it's...
No, that is a funny joke.
Yeah,
I'm sorry I took away from that.
I'm upset at you. But I worked hard on that, damn it.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no, it's going to be a very, very fun thing. It looks gorgeous.
It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. I'm very excited.
I also want their take on the Brexit situation. Mm-hmm. I really am looking forward to that.
Who knows? It might come up. I doubt it. I don't think Pokemon's going to get political in its mainline story.
I know, but like with all of the things that are the final Brexit deadline is in less than a month, and now they announce it. Like it's too perfect.
It's the only good news for Britain in quite a while.
Yeah, exactly.
We're getting a Pokemon game. Also, our country may be doomed.
Yeah, our economy has been tanking since the referendum.
So that looks exciting, and I'm going to be playing that.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be very, very exciting. I did appreciate there was a reference to the fact that there might be Pokemon Soccer, which has some very interesting capabilities.
I would dig it. Mm-hmm. Or like the soccer stadiums, I think they're gyms, but they look like giant soccer stadiums.
Right, because Britain's obsessed with football,
as a lot of Europe is. Mm-hmm. But it looks fun.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited.
Can't wait to learn more. We'll probably be talking about this game for quite a while during its release. As more information gets released, that is.
God, I hope not. But yeah, that'll be...
No, it'll probably be like once every couple weeks we'll be talking about nothing but this.
Yeah,
so
because...
look forward to that.
I sincerely apologize.
We'll give like a Pokemon warning in the beginning, and it's like, warning, Pokemon segment, and then skip to minute 10.
If you're not a complete nerd, like we are.
Yes, like 90% or less, you could just skip.
Yeah.
Any more, you're fine.
92, you're passable.
But anyway, Mike, I think we have to start talking about a weekly undertaking that I'm very proud that you have conceived for us.
Yes, I am too. Absolutely. What was the name of this challenge, Alex?
Decom Retcon.
The Decom Retcon.
Yeah, yo.
Yeah. So, our challenge was to watch 7 Disney Channel original movies, not Disney movies.
Disney Channel original movies, the ones that were aired on the Disney Channel, made for TV movies that Disney made.
Absolutely. That were a huge part of our childhood.
More or less, yes.
Did you not watch DComs as a kid?
I didn't really like a lot of them.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
They were just on.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I got excited about several of them when I was growing up.
That's cool. No, you mentioned that last week.
One thing that I noticed is that these movies are a lot shorter than I remember them being.
Yeah, everyone was like a little over an hour.
Yeah, like 90 minutes max. Which was very surprising for me because
It's not surprising to me. They could cover a 2-hour time block with commercials.
yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Is like the commercials made up more of the movie than I realized.
Oh
they
yeah,
did.
no, those movies cut to commercial every 5 minutes.
Yeah, and you could tell when you're watching them. I don't know where you watch them, but for me, you could tell the cuts that were meant to be commercial breaks. It was great. So did you actually watch 7 DComs?
I watched 6.
You watched 6. I also watched 6.
Great. You want to list off yours?
Yes, I actually watched 4 of them in one night, which was far too many.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, way. Oh God. But I watched mostly 90s DComs. So I watched The Luck of the Irish.
Never. I've seen it once,
Okay.
a long time ago.
It was a weird one. We'll get into it. But The Luck of the Irish, The 13th Year.
Never heard of it.
Okay, so Luck of the Irish is about a kid growing up in middle school.
He turns into a leprechaun or something?
He finds out that he is a leprechaun after his family has hidden his ethnicity from him this entire time. And then it turns out that his family is a family of leprechauns, and then a guy steals their lucky coin, and then they all revert back to leprechauns, and he has to go invade a potato chip factory, and compete in all these Irish traditional games in order to steal his coin back. And I want to say, it is very interesting the amount of privilege in the problem of I wonder what brand of white I am, which is the entire premise of the movie.
What? Irish?
Yeah, and it was also so heavily implied throughout the movie that they go into like the discrimination that the Irish had when they first came over during the potato famine and all this stuff, which is very true, but it's just like one of the main
In the bigger picture.
one of the main characters, the main character's best friend was a black boy who was just like there the entire time, not questioning. He had one line in which like one person was lecturing just like when the Irish came over here, they had to do jobs that nobody else wanted to do, and they got paid unfair prices. And the kid goes, "Well, at least they got paid," and that was the only acknowledgement. The only acknowledgement that
At least they kind of saw it.
they kind of touched on it. But I watched that one, and I watched The 13th Year, which is essentially the same thing, except instead of turning into a leprechaun, he turns into a mermaid.
Great.
Yeah, Dave Coulier is in that one.
Really?
Yeah, from Full House.
Well, where has he been?
I
guess doing decoms.
I guess he did. He did a decom in which he was the adopted father of a mermaid that didn't know he was a mermaid. So that was a great one. Then I watched Miracle in Lane 2, which starred Frankie
Muniz.
Yeah, that guy. Frankie Muniz.
I don't know any other Frankies.
The only important one, honestly. Frankie Muniz as a wheelchair, as a disabled child in a wheelchair who tries to find a sport, and he eventually lands on soapbox racing and his quest through that. It's based on a true story, and it was actually, I thought, the best done one that I saw, because it also touched on surprisingly tough topics. Like the kid Frankie Muniz prays to God in the form of NASCAR driver Bobby Wade, and it was hysterical. Bobby Wade's wearing a shirt that says God on the back, and Frankie goes, God, I think that I've had 25 surgeries since I've been born, and I've gone through all this trouble, and I'm in a wheelchair, and I get bullied, and I can't do anything that I want to do. I think you made a mistake when you made me. And then Bobby Wade turns around, and he's wearing a shirt that says on it, "I don't make mistakes," and that's exactly the line that Bobby Wade gives. And so I was just very surprised at the depth of the the theological thing of like God created this child that suffers so much. Why would God do that? Like, it touched on that dynamic, which was very, very surprising to me.
Wow.
Did you watch Miracle in Lane 2?
No, but to be honest, I was only half listening because I was coming up with this joke. Ready? Okay.
Okay.
What did Dave Coulier do when he saw a coupon for his favorite store in a magazine?
What did Dave Coulier do?
He cut it out. It took me 3 minutes to come up with that.
I can tell.
I was like, okay, what are things that people cut out of?
You landed on coupons.
Coupons.
I guess so. Based on his primary
The one thing he's known for.
The one thing-
cutting things out.
cutting things out of magazines. Yeah.
Anyway, what other movies did you watch?
Okay, I do want to get back to Miracle in Lane 2, but I also watched Brink. Do you remember Brink?
Brink.
Yeah. It was the highest rated movie that I watched on IMDb. Personally, I thought it was the worst movie that
Really?
I watched.
Well,
yeah.
Give me the other two. We'll go into in-depth reviews in a second.
Okay.
Just give me the
I
others.
also watched Smart House.
I've heard of that one.
Okay, I watched that one. It freaked me out as a kid. And then I watched The Color of Friendship, the movie that ended racism.
Oh, great.
Yeah, absolutely. And what were the 6 movies that you watched?
Okay. The High School Musical trilogy.
Great.
So that's half of them.
Excellent.
They all blend together, and I don't remember any of it.
Okay, that's a classic.
Yes. Camp Rock.
Oh, another classic.
Yes. Dad Napped.
Dad Napped?
That was the one with Phil Lewis in it that I looked for. I was like, oh, that's the one.
Oh, okay.
Where Phil Lewis is a bad guy, but he's not a bad guy type guy. I don't know.
He's an antagonist.
Yes. And then Hatching Pete, which I have to fucking dive deep in on because I have some complicated opinions about Hatching Pete.
Okay, can you give us a premise of Hatching Pete?
Hatching Pete, it's on average with your every like regular decom film where like the camera's awful and like it looks like a poorly shot TV show and is like no budget.
Right.
But despite everything, I fucking love this movie so much. And I had forgotten it existed because as a kid I watched it like 30 times. Basically, what the movie's about is you have Mitchell Musso's in it.
Oh, okay.
He plays like the stupid best friend, but it's about a guy who's like completely like a nobody, and he's played by that guy who looks like every Disney Channel star had a baby together. Like he looks like a blend of all of them. He's just like a tall blonde guy.
Can you give us the name
with
of
a
this
bowl
actor?
cut? No, I don't know.
Okay, what's the name of the movie? Hatching Pete?
Yes,
I'm looking it up.
But anyway, he becomes the mascot of the basketball team, and he becomes like super famous in the town, and everyone shows up to watch him, and like it becomes this mystery of like who's the mascot, and it's stupid, but it's awesome.
I hate it.
It's that guy on the left.
On the left, that is I'm gonna pull up the Wikipedia. That's Jason Dolly.
Oh, it is Jason Dolly.
That's Jason Dolly, who yeah, you're right. He does look like every single
Disney Channel star had a
Just
baby together.
interchangeable Disney Channel original movie star.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it's such a great movie because I always envisioned myself in like, because I was like the shy loser kid in school.
Yeah, you
growing
never grew
up.
out of that.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
I was the shy loser kid, and I saw like this guy who I could put myself into, and he just got a chance to perform and entertain people without having to like risk embarrassment, because he's like, if he screws up, people think Mitchell Musso's in the costume for half the movie, by the way.
Oh,
so,
great.
Yeah, if he messes up, then everyone blames him, but then he does really well. Like, he's a really good mascot, so then Mitchell Musso becomes super popular, because, you know, everyone loves the mascot.
Right, he's the number one guy. So that's another thing that I noticed in many of these movies, is that the main character is inexplicably popular. That's just a thing. Like, we'll get into the 13th year, but in the 13th year, he's the star of the swim team, and he's the most popular kid. A direct quote from the movie is, Kyle's the most popular kid in school. Which, I mean, I was on the swim team. Nobody gave a crap about us.
Some nice establishing, words.
Yeah, but continue about Hatching Pete and Jason Dolly's performance as the guy.
Basically, it was just a decom movie, but I related so much to it that I fell in love with the concept, and I always wished that I was that. And I watched it, so I watched the behind the scene features where they pointed out where they used the stunt suit with like different feet, and I was like, and while I was watching it again, I was like, oh, that's the scene, there's the scene, that's the scene. Weird, looks a little different.
Did you have this movie on DVD or something?
No, it was just always on for like one summer or something, I guess. Kind of want it now.
Well,
Maybe
then
I'll buy it.
how'd you get the behind the scenes stuff?
It might have just been like a special on Disney Channel at one point. Maybe it was like, maybe they did behind the scenes stuff when the movie first aired. But I don't know. I just remember learning about this movie somewhere. It's like I wouldn't have cared enough to research it.
Right, you did. So you did not research this movie at all.
I don't think so.
Like, you didn't look up a YouTube video of Hatching Pete behind the scenes?
No.
Finding out the hidden
I
rivalry?
learned all of this information when I was a kid, and it has retained in the depths of my brain.
Okay.
And yeah.
So you know the way that Hatching Pete's costume, you know, the way that the stunt costume works. That's really cool. Can you recite for me the quadratic formula?
A squared plus B squared equals C squared?
No, that's not even close. Cool. No, I mean, you had your priorities in order. I respect that.
Thanks.
I respect that.
Mike, thanks.
You're welcome.
You know, I could ask you a random question, but I'm not gonna.
Can you ask me a random question?
Okay, fine. How do you make a pie?
You get
Mike?
you get the ingredients of a pie, you put it in the pie, and then you put it in the oven. For
Okay,
a while.
well, I could have answered, well, you write the formula on the wall, and there it is. And that's it. There you go.
So anyway, any other
suck.
thoughts about Hatching Pete?
It's incredible. But it's not a good movie.
Cool.
But I love it.
Well, none of these movies are good movies.
It was the first one I watched, so it was like, and when I was researching movies, I saw this one, I was like, Hatching Pete, I forgot. I forgot
that Hatching Pete existed, honestly.
Me too, and I was so happy to remember it.
What year did that movie come out?
Late 2000s, I think.
Okay, so all of my movies happened between the years of 1998 and 2001.
Okay, and all my movies are in the 2000s.
2002, actually. So, okay, so how do I gave a very brief synopsis of The Luck of the Irish.
Yeah, talk to me about some of your favorites.
Okay, well, my favorite one, like I said, was Miracle in Lane 2, which originally I thought was a sequel to Miracle in Lane, but it wasn't. It was just about a kid that had a miracle while he was in Lane 2.
Cool.
So I was, first of all, shocker right off the bat. I thought I was...
You gotta use a high number so people think there's no way a movie's this good that it gets 38 sequels.
I mean, I would pay for 38 sequels of Shrek. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Shrek 38 comes out. I'm in the theater opening night. But with that being said, I really did love the movie. It was like there was a lot happening, and I thought that the family dynamic. I mean, it was simple enough that a kid could understand it, but it was, you know, the brother dealing with the fact that the brother of Frankie Muniz dealing with the fact that Frankie Muniz was going to get all the attention because of medical necessity and things like that. And
that is a complicated issue that actually like a lot of like younger kids can relate to, because like they see people come in with like casts and then they get all the attention in the world because everyone's like, let me sign, let me be a part of your injury.
Well, I mean, also there are children that grow up in wheelchairs too.
That is something I wasn't thinking about.
Yes.
But yes.
that is a reality. And the family dynamic of that, you know, the brother is a huge sports star, and Frankie Muniz looks up to the sports star, and he wants to do sports, but they won't let him play baseball. He can't do a lot of different things because he's paralyzed from the waist down.
Okay. Let me ask you one thing.
Sure.
You really seem to like this movie. Can you give me the name of Frankie Muniz's character?
Yes, his last name is Yoder. What was his first name? Was it Josh? I want to say it's Josh Yoder.
Okay. I'm impressed.
His last name was Yoder. What was the first name?
Don't look it up.
No, I'm going to look it up.
All right.
Miracle in Lane 2. Miracle in Lane.
I gotta change the Wi-Fi password.
Yeah, you do.
I've seen the posters.
Yes. Doesn't give the name in the description? Damn. Miracle in Lane 2 is about... God.
Oh my God.
I'm very upset. Justin Yoder. Justin, not Josh.
Wow.
Justin Yoder.
You got the first letter right.
I did.
Good job.
I was close. I should have remembered because the side of his race car said just in time. That was a pun. Oh my God. That's very clever. But I was very impressed by it. I mean, you know, weak screenwriting aside, there was one moment in which it was a kind of a beautiful scene. The movie concluded on Justin winning the race and, you know, becoming the national best soapbox derby racer in a very long time. And he he becomes this. He opens the door for a lot of different people, to different people with various disabilities to join the soapbox derby thing. But it closes on a note, and I understand what it was trying to do, but it just came across as weird. Is that Justin goes to God, who abandons him at one point in the movie, which was, again, very dark.
Okay.
But Justin goes to God and is like, God, what's heaven like? Is it like, is everybody there perfect? And God, in the form of Bobby Wade, famous NASCAR driver, goes to the gates of heaven, opens them, and you just see like everybody floating around with wings, but every single person is in a wheelchair. And it's great because I get it. It's like, oh, you're perfect just the way you are. You're perfect with the wheelchair. But in my mind, I'm like, that implies that everyone that is not in a wheelchair
Does not go to heaven.
is in hell. Yeah, absolutely.
How dare you take your legs for granted?
Also, yeah, exactly. And also, like I said, I understand what it was trying to do, but just in a logistic thing, if everybody that goes to heaven gets wings, why are you still in a wheelchair? I mean, listen, like I said, it was a beautiful moment, but it just raised all these questions in my mind.
Yeah, a lot of...
Yeah. Also, they actually had Bobby Wade come up and visit Frankie while he was Justin, I'm gonna stick to the name now, while he was in the hospital. And it was great because his hero comes and Justin gives him some advice on race car driving and stuff like that. But also, he takes his bedpan. Bobby, like, takes his bedpan, like, just steals it straight from his room, and later in the movie, they show Bobby in a NASCAR race, and he's just like, I got some great advice from this racer, and he takes the bedpan out of his car and shows them the advice that Justin gave him, and I'm just like, why would you take the bedpan of all things?
Wow.
It was kind of a questionable moment, but that's my very brief review of Miracle in Lane 2.
So you liked it?
I did like it a lot.
Okay.
It was a terrible act. There was a lot of different elements that I could criticize, but I'm gonna concentrate on what they did good.
Oh.
Tell me about your thoughts on the High School Musical trilogy.
Well, I'm not gonna go there yet, or
okay.
really maybe not at all, because you've probably all seen them.
So what? I want to hear what you think about them.
Well, I want to go in order, kind of.
Okay.
Because I also have a point that I wanted to ask you about.
Okay, sure.
Did any of your movies that you watched had like a song written by one of the actors in it?
Oh, every single one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So here's what I'm trying to say. In both Hatching Pete and Dadnapped, which is what I'm going to talk about, Mitchell Musso and Emily Osment, in respective films, had new songs debuting, and they both played twice in each movie for 2 different dance scenes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Like, in my movies, they just used it as an end credits thing.
In Hatching Pete, there was a parade scene where the Mitchell Musso song was, like, a part of it. It was, like, great. And then at the end, like, during the celebration part, they played the exact same song again.
Yeah.
And also, Mitchell Musso's character just, like, at, like, the final showdown, like, went to the marching band section, grabbed drumsticks, and started beating on a drum set that was apparently there. I guess because he could play the drums and he wanted to show that off. And then in Dadnapped, the movie opens and ends with this Emily Osment song.
Was it called Dadnapped?
No. Oh. But sometimes I think, like, they make movies because they have new songs to showcase.
That would not surprise me at all. They also have a rotating cast of the same kind of people that are in every movie.
I think every Disney Channel or, like, actor is required to be in at least one DCOM movie.
That is part of the Mickey contract.
I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, this movie, Dadnapped, Emily Osment's the titular character, or the title character.
No, titular. That's a good
Titular's
word.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. And her dad is like a famous book writer who writes this book series about a guy named Trip who, Home Alone style, invents a bunch of contraptions to catch bad guys. And everyone's obsessed with this book for some reason. It's the stupidest fucking thing. But, like, there's so many people who are, like, so into this book. It's like, oh, yeah, what would Trip do? Which is also such, like, a stupid name.
What would Trip do? WWTD.
WWTD. No offense to all the Trips out there. But that's a really, like, 90s, like, nicknamed kind of name.
There are people named Trip with 2 Ps.
Yes. I don't know anyone named Trip, so
Neither do I.
again, sorry, but like not sorry. Your name's kind of weird.
You're pissing off a lot of people today, Alex.
Yeah, I'm covering all my bases, Mike.
You are.
And that's a part of nerd culture. If you're not pissing someone off, you're doing something wrong.
I guess so.
So anyway, the dad gets kidnapped in this movie twice by two different sets of people.
Or were they both dads?
Actually, no. Sorry, he gets kidnapped kind of 3 times.
At this point, you just gotta learn your lesson.
The first time he gets kidnapped by the guy from Wizards of Waverly Place.
Which guy?
The older brother.
David Henry?
Yes, he gets kidnapped by David Henry, Rico from Hannah Montana, and their third friend, whose name escapes me, and I also don't recognize from anything.
Okay, well, here's a question that I have. What is the age of this dad? Is he like a middle-aged
He's
dad?
he's like in his early 40s.
So he's getting kidnapped by teenagers.
Yes, but basically the thing is he got kidnapped at his trip convention. Because the whole point of the movie is Emily Osment hates that his dad only cares about his fictional character,
And
like
not
it's all
her.
he talks about. Yeah, and he doesn't care about her at all.
Right.
So like she's kind of pissed about that the whole time, reasonably. And his dad is her dad's super blind to that, of course. And then he gets kidnapped by a bunch of hardcore Trip fans who are like, "We'll let you go if you show us how to make this Trip trap from episode 98 of book 3, Trip Strikes Back 7 or something." And he does. And it's this stupid ass like book trap where you open it and like a mouse trap goes off and puts paint in someone's face.
Great.
So
It's a great prank.
That's why they kidnapped him. And then they pull the prank.
Because they couldn't figure out how to rig a mousetrap by themselves.
And then of course Emily Osment's the one who opens the book.
Of course.
Yeah, she gets covered in fluids like 5 times in this movie.
Oh, jeez.
To a point where I noticed and it was uncomfortable. Also, Jason Earle's the bad guy in this movie.
Jason Earle. Who's Jason Earle?
He was the brother in Hannah Montana.
Oh, yeah.
He's a motel owner with a really high stack of hair. He turns out to be the surprise villain. Spoilers.
Was it really a surprise, or did you see that coming from a
No,
mile away?
actually, I just didn't care.
Okay.
Basically, Phil Lewis and his Lenny partner works for him, and they kidnapped the dad after he gets let go by them.
By Lenny partner, do you mean that he reminds you of Lenny from Of Mice and Men?
Yes.
Okay,
He's
cool.
kind of like he's that type of like partner.
That was a delayed response, but it was
Yes.
important that I clarified that.
Yes. Basically, the Lenny partner is a good writer, but not a good writer. You know,
Okay.
he has good stories, but can't write well.
Gotcha.
So they kidnap the dad to write his story well, and then of course Emily Osment gets picked up too because she was with her dad at the time, and basically the whole movie is just him writing this book for them, and then they all become friends, and eventually they team up with them to combat Jason Earls, and all the Trip fans make a bunch of like high-tech Trip traps for Jason Earls to run into, and then that's the movie.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great movie. I love it.
It was fine. It was just fine. It was more fun just to see all these like Disney Channel stars that I haven't thought about in years.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Is like, I mean, Selena Gomez took off. Ariana Grande was Nickelodeon.
But she didn't stick around.
In Nickelodeon, at least.
Yeah, no, she left Nickelodeon is what I meant.
I mean, she did 2 series with them. She did Victorious and Sam and Cat.
Yeah, but like the same character, and Sam and Cat went on for like what, 15 episodes?
I do not know enough about the history of Sam and Cat.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I don't think it was that good.
I couldn't tell you.
I did not see an episode. The idea interested me enough. It was like, oh, 2 of their best shows and 2 of their side characters coming together. Because of course, side character shows are always the best.
It's a crossover series. Exactly. So yeah. What was I saying? But yeah, I mean, most Disney Channel stars that we remember have a career after DComs.
Yeah.
And you know, they're normally not their best work. Normally.
It's a start.
Don't get me wrong. I don't want to take away from these masterpieces, but these cinematic masterpieces.
I think I'll start like a new collection next to my shitty movie collection, just like the DCOM section
of just like all the High School Musicals and all the everything.
Well, the third High School Musical actually had some shots at points where it looked like a real movie.
Well, it was one was not a DCOM. That was released in theaters.
I'm counting it as one because I watched it.
Fair enough. But it also was not a straight to TV movie. It like made money in like AMC.
So it looked a little better. Not that much better, but it looked a little better.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Like there were some shots that were really good.
The transitions in all of these movies also, I want to say,
Yeah, some
were
of
just
them
terrible.
are just, yeah.
They're just like, just very clearly, okay, let's move to the next scene.
They're like the fade to black and then fade back kind of transitions a lot because
Exactly.
those are the commercial breaks that are taken out.
Let's see, what other movies should I talk about?
don't know.
I could go on for a very long time about each one of these because each one is like, there's a lot to unpack in every single movie.
Well, why don't you pick one more to go deep into, and then we'll do like one sentence reviews for the rest of them.
Right. Okay. Let me think here. Okay. So, do you have one that you want to do one deep in so that I can think about which one I want to?
I just got Camp Rock and the High School Musical trilogy. All of those are just,
Beautiful masterpiece.
Uh-huh.
Honestly. But
Camp Rock was the start of Demi Lovato, and the Jonas Brothers were still kicking, so they were in it.
yeah.
But that whole movie was just kind of weird and awkward. It was High School Musical, but in a camp.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. There was also when Demi Lovato was singing like her "This Is Real, This Is Me" song at the end.
Oh yeah.
The camera angle on her was just kind of super weird.
What do you
like
mean?
it looked like someone was like filming her from like the chairs. And she's just like trying to be interesting looking while it's just this one straight shot for like 20 seconds. And she's just doing these really awkward dance moves while she's singing.
And then the Jonas Brothers stand up and just goes, "Yeah, the reason in my head," or something like that.
They all just kind of look at her.
Actually,
They all just have like weird glances in this movie.
I don't know if you're aware, but you picked a really great week to come back to the
Jonas Brothers are coming. More old news. Jonas Brothers are reuniting for some reason.
I mean, why wouldn't they?
I guess you're right. They're making money. They're gonna make a lot of money.
So much money. I loved the Jonas Brothers music when it was around.
They were pretty cool.
They were SOS, Burning Up.
I do like those two songs.
They're the only two songs that I can
No,
remember.
the year 3000.
Oh, that
We're
was our first
almost
big hit.
there.
We're not significantly closer.
Little
now.
less than 1,000 years away.
Little less than 1,000 years away, exactly. But yeah, they came out with a new single called "Sucker," which was pretty good.
Actually, I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, it's a bop.
I'm gonna listen to it.
It's a nice one. But yeah, let's see. Camp Rock was a fun movie. I remember that being a very fun one.
I was entertained by it.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny just to see them like so young.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow, these people are worth more than like most things in the world.
Absolutely. There is a lot that I want to go in depth to each one. Okay, so I will very quickly go give you the ones. I talked enough about The Luck of the Irish. The 13th Year was weird because I've noticed that a lot of these movies have antagonists that aren't really villains. Like, for example, this one guy sees a mermaid as she's dropping off Kyle, which is the son that grows into the mermaid later on in life. He sees her and then becomes obsessed with mermaids to the point where he needs to prove it, and that's his only thing. And at one point, in the climax of the movie, he tries to capture the mermaid, who he knows is his son's best friend's mom. But he's still so obsessed with her that he drops the net and tries to capture her, almost killing his son in the process.
Okay, cool.
And then there's an immediate redemption arc. Like, she washes up, he frees her, he gets freed and all this stuff. And at the end of it, they wash up on the shore, and he's just one of the good guys trying to save his son's life. Like, immediately. An immediate turnaround. No retribution whatsoever.
That's a satisfying movie arc.
Not at all. But I will say, for a movie that's basically just about puberty, it's kind of okay. So there's that, and then I watched Miracle on Lane 2, and then I watched Brink, which I kind of want to go, okay, so Brink is a movie about two rival inline skating gangs.
Wow.
I'm going to give you one guess as to where you think this movie takes place. What state? What state? Come on, one guess. Inline skating.
Wyoming.
Is that a serious guess?
Yes.
No, it takes place in California, dude.
Oh.
It's Rocket Power, the live-action Disney Channel remake.
That makes way more sense.
Yeah, come on.
I don't know. I was just thinking about Wyoming.
Do you often think about Wyoming?
No, it's like quickies looking at me. Think of a state. Because it's like, I obviously don't know the answer. Because it's supposed to be obvious, but I don't know.
Wyoming. You know the conspiracy theory that Wyoming isn't real?
We don't have time for this.
Okay, fine. Another episode. But the basic gist of it is that this one guy is also Okay, so this guy and his group of 4 skaters hate this professional group called the X-Blades, and they again X for extreme, obviously, because it's the 90s.
Yeah, that's why they call them the Extreme Men as well.
The Extreme Men.
The X-Men.
Oh yes, absolutely.
But
Yeah, thank you. But and essentially his family comes in, the main character's family comes into financial hardships, and so he auditions for the X-Blade, or tries out, or whatever it is.
Great.
He tries out for the X-Blades to become this to get sponsored, and he gets the thing and makes all this money to support his family, but also his friends hate the X-Blades, so he keeps it a secret from them, even though my point is a lot of this movie could be explained away by him just coming to his friends and saying, hey, my family has financial hardships right now, but they call him a sellout when they eventually find out, because of course they do.
Yeah,
they call him a sellout. The main leader of the X-Blades, of course, hates his guts and makes him do all these embarrassing things, and it was just a very pitiful movie, and I was very disappointed with it. And one thing that I found interesting is I found out later that Brink, the Disney Channel original movie, is based on an 1865 novel published in the Netherlands.
Hans Brinker, the Silver Skates.
That was the name of the original book, and it takes place. It's not an inline skating thing. It's a ice skating thing. They changed that so that it could be more rad. I imagine so.
The way you said that was just like Professor trying to sound cool. It was like, they changed it so it could be more rad.
They did.
To the one person who has read this novel, and not the one person listening, I mean the one person. Tell me about it.
Apparently, it's a novel by Mary Mapes Dodge, first published in 1865, and it's considered a very nice, very genuine look at early 19th century life in the Netherlands.
Wow, so relevant.
Yeah, but first of all, it just took me aback that they decided to turn Hans Brinker, or the Silver Skates, into a Disney Channel original movie called Brink.
You know, there was just one guy at the meeting who was just like, now's my chance.
It was like my favorite book.
We were thinking of doing a skating movie, and the guy was like, ice skating? He was like, no. And he was like, oh, this could still work. I call it Brink.
There's not enough time to go into this movie as much as I want.
No.
I just plead you all to watch this horrible movie.
If you take one thing away from this, watch Brink.
Watch Brink, the movie of Hans Brinker or the Silver Skates.
I didn't realize how long we've been going.
I don't even care because I want to keep talking. Then I watched Smart House, which was a movie that I watched when I was a kid about the basic gist of it is smart technology predicted a decade in advance of the first iPhone coming out, which is very impressive.
Did they have an iPhone?
No, they didn't. It was just a house that had artificial intelligence that made their lives easier.
Oh, I've heard of this. I might have seen this movie.
Yeah. And the house comes to life because she wants to be the kid's mom.
Yep.
So 2 things that I noticed in the movie. One, a lot of the technology that they come up with is very similar to how we use smart technology today.
Wow.
Sure, they don't magically manifest smoothies or clean up messes by throwing things on the ground, but it's voice activated. There was a lot of things like that. Artificial intelligence is really kicking. So it was very cool to see that kind of thing, like how it was also terrifying how correctly they predicted it. So that was one thing. Number 2, the dad is a single dad taking care of 2 kids, and the kid has to step up and all that stuff. Like, that's a big dynamic. I didn't realize how horny the dad was when I first watched the movie.
God.
He's just like, his entire arc is, son, I gotta get out there and meet woman. And the reason meet woman. And the reason that the dad agrees to go into the smart house is not because, wow, this is a great financial opportunity to move into a house.
Was it like, so I could stick my dick in the drain pipe?
No, it was, he opened up the newspaper ad about the house and saw the woman that coded the house and was like, wow, she is beautiful. We're moving in immediately.
Wow.
And that was the romance arc in the movie. So that was also significantly less scary than I thought it was. And also the movie concludes with the house committing suicide, which is a dark tone for a Disney movie. But we don't have time to get into that one.
No, apparently not, but I want to watch this movie again.
Yeah.
Because apparently I missed something.
It was God. But the last movie I watched was The Color of Friendship, which is, like I said, the movie that ended racism, about a black American family signing up for a exchange student from South Africa to come. To their chagrin, they find that the South African person that comes over is white, and it becomes a big thing because she grew up during apartheid, and apartheid was still a thing when the movie came out, and that was the... Actually, I don't think it was a thing when the movie came out, but it was during the setting of the movie, the year. So it was kind of this thing of, like, racism, dealing with that on a very low scale, but...
That sounds like an actual plot of a movie, not like a Disney Channel original movie.
This was like a, I think this was one of the better done Disney movies.
Yeah, that sounds like actually interesting.
Yeah, it was, it kind of, I mean, it glossed over a lot, like, to the point where it made it seem like, you know, America is this bastion of equality, and, like, we've got it all figured out, and this South African person needs to come here to learn.
We absolutely do not.
No, they spend 1 minute touching on, like, they drive through a poor neighborhood, and the mom goes like, yep, here in America, we also have problems, and that's the only reference to American inequality in the movie.
Wow.
That's really it. So,
would you think this is a good movie for kids to watch to learn about this topic?
I mean, it's an important thing to learn about apartheid, and I think it explains it in a way that would make sense to children. So I want to say yes, but because it does touch on. There's a moment when the dad in the movie is a congressman from California,
okay,
and he has a moment when he's with the girl that says, and he says to her, "I don't think you're a bad person, but I think you've been taught some very bad things." And I think that's a very important way to look for a young kid to kind of understand what white privilege is like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not your fault, but you're still, like, you've still been taught very bad things.
Yes. You're a product of our past.
Right. And yeah, exactly. And so, yes, in that it makes sense to kids. It was...
You shouldn't watch it for that.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of nuance, which, I mean... It wasn't like nuance is something that's not very oftenly found in
Disney Channel original movies.
Exactly. But except in Miracle on Lane 2, the Frankie Muniz original movie. But yeah, so I mean, I was a little disappointed that they didn't really turn the mirror on America to say, sure, you ended segregation, but you're not done. But outside of that, I thought it was a pretty well done movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
Definitely an interesting concept.
Yeah, check it out. There were a surprising amount of slurs in it, I will say that.
Wow.
They used the N-word a couple times, and the South African version of the N-word multiple times.
Wow.
So,
that's not like an I'm impressed. That's more like just wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe Disney did that.
I was very shocked when I was watching the movie. I was like, wait, what did they say?
Well, yeah, anyway.
Mm-hmm. Tell me, so...
Didn't think we'd get that into that area of discussion on the Disney Channel original movie episode, but
neither did I.
That was definitely an interesting jump off.
Here we are.
Yeah, you go.
So tell me about, so you watch Camp Rock, Dad Napped, Hatching Pete.
And the High School Musical trilogy.
Give me a very brief thing of High School Musical.
Boy meets girl, boy sings at girl, girl sings back at boy, and then a lot of high school bullshit happens, and then they graduate and go to colleges near or close to each other. I don't know. I fell asleep halfway through the third one.
Did you get to the ending of the third one?
I woke up and the credits were rolling.
Oh, okay.
So something happened.
I haven't watched High School Musical 3 in a very long time.
Oh, they straight up, like, what'd they do? They fucking hazed people in that movie. Like, straight up just hazed.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
There were new basketball players, and Troy and his friend...
That's right!
Straight up just stole the clothes of the freshmen and made them chase after them in their towels through, like, the entire school.
Yes!
I was like, what the fuck? These are people we're supposed to look up to?
Mm-hmm.
They're bullies.
They were bullies, absolutely.
So that was probably the most interesting part of that movie.
Did you watch High School Musical 2 is the best of the trilogy, I think.
I did like it better than the first and third one.
They also have better songs, like Fabulous and I Don't Dance.
I did like Fabulous a lot when I was growing up.
Massive bops.
Oh, yeah.
Massive bops. Absolutely.
Fabulous. Not gonna start singing.
Oh, I want to sing.
But in the end, good movies, but I will probably never watch them again.
Oh, I might. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll make you a deal. You watch 3 of my shitty movies with me, and I'll watch the High School Musical trilogy with you.
I will watch 3 shitty movies with you. Because
Hooray!
I've already watched 1 shitty movie with
And
you.
it can't get worse.
It legitimately cannot.
No, you're wrong. It's going to get worse.
How can it be worse than Shark Exorcist?
No, trust me. It gets worse.
For a review of Shark Exorcist, go back, I think, 4 episodes? 5 episodes?
Go to the one where... What did we do that week?
I don't know, because all we talked about that week
I
was Shark
don't remember
Exorcist.
anything else we did. I'm sorry.
We'll leave a link in the description to that episode.
Yeah, I'll leave a link in the description. Thanks for giving me more work. Bucket time?
I guess.
Great. Here you go.
Cool.
We're running low, Mike.
Yeah, we'll think of stuff. All right. Okay, this is a bad one, but sure, let's do it. Freaky, but also casual, Friday.
Oh, yeah.
This is swap professions for a week.
So,
You have a job.
yes. Don't go to my job.
Don't I? That's so upset. I want to meet your boss.
No.
Okay.
He's a nice guy, but I don't want you to embarrass me.
Okay. So the basic, I guess, the idea is, what's your job? Describe your job. You talked about it before, but tell it again.
Yeah. Basically, I'm trying to figure out how to explain this, but I'm a graphic designer by trade, and in my job, it involved me editing and uploading pictures to a website that sells the products of the pictures that I edit.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what I'm thinking is you do a super simple version of that or make pretty things for a week.
Make
'Cause
pretty graphic designs for a week.
That's my day job. That's my night job.
Oh,
Just
okay.
coming home and doodling.
Nice. That's fun.
So do something creative, I would say.
Okay.
Like in the field of design and art.
All right.
Do something like that, I guess.
All right. Word art, here I come.
Honestly, go for it.
And how are we going to do this? Because I work as a research assistant.
Well, what do you do every day?
Whatever my bosses tell me to do.
What do your bosses tell you to do every day?
A lot of research and reading and transcriptions and things of that nature.
Well, name a thing you research about, and I'll research on it.
Well, I work at. I mean, I've spoken on this before. I'm studying to be a teacher, so it's mostly about education things.
Okay, I'll learn about education.
You'll learn about educational theory?
Yeah, that's funny and ironic.
Okay, great. Let's. This is going to be a great episode next week.
Yeah.
Tune in next week
for art and education.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Do we have anything else we want to say?
No.
Okay, great. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We have artists that support us in Adam Rudy and Winston De Jesus. Please check out their stuff in the description if you like what you hear and see on the podcast. Also, give us a follow. We also have social media in the description.
Mm-hmm.
Leave a rate and review. Tell a friend. That really helps. Please do that. And, I guess until next week, don't forget to challenge yourself.
And you're watching Disney. Try something new.
See you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.